especially with a great shooting night. Here are our game officials. Romel Gruta leads the refereeing crew here today. I'm Paulo Del Rosario alongside Coach Ryan Gregorio calling this one for you. A pleasure coming from you at the Phil Sports Arena. Terrafirma against Rain or Shine, and Rain or Shine immediately go to the interior. No good there, but then another chance here for Rain or Shine, and finally they get going. Francis Escandor, who, has that shot, able to get his first attempt in. Coach, let's focus here on the Rain or Shine Elasto Painters. 5-3, they are in the bubble, and if they stay perfect, they could actually still win a twice-to-beat advantage at the end of the conference.
That is their target right now.
But then for the first 3 quarters against the Converged Fiber Xers, they showed us that 1, they do have the talent level, and 2, that they are...
Kevin Ferrer, I see him also on street clothes, will not be able to play in today's game.
Absolutely, Coach. As here's Gian Mamuya. Easy steal, easy 2 for Mamu.
But they're currently up by 2 points. So still manageable at this point in the ball game, but counter steal there.
Oh, Mark Nonoy. One of the quickest guys in the league. It feels like if we had a 100-meter dash, he would probably be one of the top finishers.
For sure. Probably he's gonna win it.
Oh yeah. The way he runs, parang sprinter talaga yung takbo niya. Here's Escandor. Attack off the dribble. That was a top finish, and Zaldivar there to snuff that out. So dangerous going downhill. Hernandez playing it inside to Luis Angalang. And the play developed here. Oh, what a find there. And great connection. Danger for Rain or Shine. They don't start out with urgency as we take a look at this basket here coming from Hernandez. We'll have more about this game and, of course, more from Rain or Shine as well when we return. Don't go away.
You look at the team standings of Terrafirma. After winning their first game, they're the coldest team right now, dropping their last 8 games. But Coach Sheng knows that it's very difficult to go up against a team.
The entire coaching staff of the Rain or Shine Elasto Painters are not quite happy with that sequence.
Oh yes, he was not able to finish his layup. He was able to escape his defenders, but you have to finish it, especially if it is unmolested. But Stan Pringle, he knows a thing or two. About finishing plays, and another basket for him to up his total performance to 8 points.
Stanley Pringle off to a hot start here. Remember, he hit his conference high in the last game, and right now on track to do a bit better than that. Oh, and the follow-up there coming from Santillan. And Santi Santillan, Leonard Santillan, is one of the more Swiss Army knife-like players here for Coach Yang Giao. He can defend, he is able to rebound, but of course, most importantly on the offense, been able to finish in the interior.
Yes.
Sangalang with a great finish inside.
But speaking of Santillan, he's the best player right now in 103 points. But they allow their opponent to score
117.
That's a problem.
Well, that is something that they have to address. But Luis Angalang here,
rebounding, but so far so good for them. 15 rebounds for Terrafirma and only 13 for the Elasto Painters.
Ildefonso able to get the strong finish in the interior. Tied ball game here, 18-all, 42 seconds left here. And just to correct what we see on the screen.
Using a little bit of his upper body strength, Ildefonso erasing his defender to score his first 2 points in the game.
Here's Sangalang. He wants 3, and he is unable to get it. The bounce falling to Caraco, playing forward to Adrian Nocum. Keeps Datu running with him. Datu, easy finish, unselfish play for Adrian Nocum. Basket, but then that will be a foul on the floor, says the referee. So take a look at this finish. Adrian Nocum finding Keith Datu, scoring right in front of Sangalang. After Melesio, Ildefonso right in front of him. Melesio can't get free. Does that beat the buzzer? Yes, it does. 3-pointer. So they're going to double check that though.
He went back and scored that booming 3 to end the first quarter of play.
Does he get it off in time? And ooh, yes, he does. At least based on our unofficial view, he's played for, and there's a reason why he has such a long career.
Yes, he's a pro. He's always ready to play, and you know that that outside shot is.
It's an unsuccessful challenge, so it's going to be a charge against Andre Caracot. And score that win there for Algin Melesio.
Terrafirma not lacking in effort right now. We're seeing them playing so well, at least in the first 14 minutes of the game. They're still up by 3 points, 23-20. And Melesio, let's see if he can complete it. Yes, what a brilliant back-to-back plays.
Let's take a look at that again, Coach. Here is Aljan Melesio. Went straight at it and just going into his space there.
Head coach Eli Tenorio and another assistant coach, or two assistant coaches. That is one Richard Del Rosario and Joshua Del Rosario.
Of course, congratulations to the Del Rosarios also, yes. And of course, it became a family affair, to be honest. And there is Adrian Noku draining a big triple in the corner. And suddenly, take a look at this. Aljan Melesio. A beautiful spin was Andre Karakut. Here's Noku, now to Kitatu. Kitatu showing off his range. Nothing but net. Oh, Paraiso, little bump on the attack. And that time, Zaldivar unable to claim that. Here's Ildefonso running, gunning, going strong inside. And that will be a 2. What can you do here? We'll have Nonoy and Pringle checking in the next opportunity here for the Terrafirma Dyip. And Adrian Noku makes it a 10-0 run.
5 productive years.
5 very productive years.
For making it to the playoffs.
From Thibodeau to Thibodeau. As we go the other way here, as that shot does not fall for the Terrafirma Dyip. Trying to get Mark Nonoy free, but they give it to Pringle. Pringle, an automatic bucket. Third chance, finally gets to the goal.
It wasn't a ball screen, but it was still a Sangalang pass. And it's going to be costly, especially in the playoffs. You want to make sure that you will have at least a decent execution on offense. And a 4-point basket by Mark Nonoy. His first in the ball game. And don't look now. We're all tied up again at 34 points apiece.
34 all here. Mark Nonoy was a sniper from beyond the arc. Swing the ball around here. A bit more urgency for the Shine Elasto Painters as Terrafirma shows zone. Jonard Clarito right at the face of Stanley Pringle.
Very quiet.
And Chongson with a big offensive rebound. Jonard Clarito. Back to Chongson. Sangalang right there. And what a feed inside from a cutting Asistio.
Yes, usually he will just bully his way inside. But instead, Asistio cutting strong. And on all defensive fouls except offensive fouls that will be called against Terrafirma.
Alonso in the corner, no dice, but Clarito's there to finish off the second chance opportunity. So after a very slow start here for the Shine Elasto Painters, they were able to buck a 8-point disadvantage here in the second quarter and now lead 41 to 34. Sangalang slips, and Porter and the rest of Shine running the other way. And this will be easy points for Malonzo. Jonard Clarito, as we take a look at that sequence, Coach.
And this is a classic Matador defense. Take a look at that one with just a little over 5 seconds left. It was just wide open. Nonoy was actually in front, but he allowed Clarito to go.
The drop to twice to win disadvantage. As Mark Nonoy misses on the 3-pointer. 3 seconds left to go here. Clarito sails in for 2. Hung up in the air forever. And Terrafirma coaching staff was wondering, where was the transition defense? No one. Trying Gregorio as Terrafirma are looking for a much improved third quarter after a lackluster second. And Sangalang, what a smooth operator in the interior.
He's just so good with the ball in his hands.
Kept it secure, but unable to get any sort of finish. 10-point lead and almost a turnover, but then they find Karakut cutting in. It's a 12-point lead yet again.
A lot of transition baskets earlier in the first 2 quarters for the Elasto Painters. And you feel like Terrafirma, if there's one thing that they want to adjust to, that is just playing better transition D.
Yeah.
But it has not been the case so far here in the third quarter. But good counter-attack by Mark Nonoy going downhill, scoring his layup. Data wide open for Dyip. A shot from deep, nothing that time.
Mark Nonoy, he loves running, and now he feeds Sangalang for the strong finish.
Very, very strong finisher.
Which is how we ended the first half. Stanley Pringle dribbles his way just beyond the free throw line.
That's a 2-man game involving Louis Sangalang and Stan Pringle. He's just using his strength right now.
And the Karakut beating Santillan. That would have been a 3 if it went. But Datu on her offensive rebound and takes a strong hoop.
They were losing by an average of over 30 points per game.
Tatu, the feed to the corner. Escandor gets a big triple, second of his game.
And what you're seeing is Escandor finding his range from the outside. Yes, he might be struggling close to the rim, but at least his outside range is on target.
Sangalang. Stanley. Stand the man. Little hesitation. Tadifar playing up top. Sangalang shoots over Datu, and that's a pure shot.
Back-to-back hits for Sangalang.
Here's Santillan. Saw the triple back.
Wide open that time. Nobody in front of him. That's part of the range of Leonard Santillan, his first three-pointer here in this ball game.
Mark Nonoy, stayed up in the air forever.
Beautiful finish that time by Mark Nonoy. So we're seeing a lot of mileage offensively for Terrafirma.
Santillan driving off the fake, a second fake, and the basket and one. Discipline not quite there in that play. Let's take a look at that again. Saldivar putting his hands down. Really now to Ramos. Ramos unable to get the three ball to go. They play forward to Escandor. Escandor being chased. Doesn't matter.
Finally a basket off a layup. 8 points now for Francis Escandor.
14-point lead here for Rain or Shine. Tui Sangalang works on Tatu again. He has found success in this matchup. And again, another basket at the expense of Tatu.
The free throw line or from the elbows. But before that, Escandor with a layup.
62-50 as we take a look at Luis Sangalang battling against Tatu.
The last two games against Magnolia and Northport, it's just going to get better here in our elimination round for teams who are contending for that twice-to-beat advantage.
Touchdown pass for Francis Escandor. 60 from Paraiso. Terrafirma taking their time here. Sangalang measures the shot and gets it to fall. Adenoko. And it's just going to be a turnover here. Hernandez, big man in front of him, and that time Johnson doing the right thing. But then the ball stays with green shirts. Moving things around here, talking about Terrafirma.
And I'm looking at Terrafirma right now. Who's going to be the guy in charge of their offense?
Hernandez says, could it be me? The shot is short, maybe not.
There's no Pringle, there's no Louis Sangalang, there is no Mark Nonoy. Probably 4 stops and initiate their fast break attack. That is their best way to score against the Elasto Painters.
Mamu. Also off the dribble, but keeps at it and scores. June 10, 7 p.m. on One Sports, One Sports Plus, and Pilipinas Live. We zoom in back to the action here as another turnover as Mamu goes strong inside, hands up in the air forever.
At least in their last 6 possessions.
Open look though, Johnson,
oh, yes.
A bit of better challenge. And Chris Porter getting on the board here for Coach Yeng Yao. Again,
volleyball, which is really good for the entire Philippine population. Before, you just focus your attention and just dream of becoming a PBA player as part of your professional.
Already, this is the turnover and then the fast break here with heads-up play there from Stanley Pringle.
Terrafirma. Luis Sangalang is inside, Nono is inside, Pringle also, the top 3 scorers for their team, all playing at the same time. And 6-0 run now.
Aldrich Ramos saying, don't forget about me.
Yes, I was about to call his name.
And there you have it. The answer still not there for Rain or Shine. Still, it has been all Terrafirma here in quarter number 4. What about Hernandez? Keying in a 3. All of a sudden, we got a ball game. Sharp shooter, Aldrich Ramos in the corner. Need to get going here offensively, Coach.
I like the fighting spirit of Terrafirma first. After being down by as many as 18 points, they fought back. Now, another foiled attempt by the Elasto Painters for Rain or Shine.
Stanley Pringle finding Aldrich Ramos. Ramos operating the pick and roll, finds Sangalang instead. Tees up a 3-ball and gets that to go. But Rain or Shine are still yet to score here in the 4th quarter. Almost 4 minutes have gone by. Gabe Norwood with the jumper. Finally, pamatay sunog. Important basket. 8-point lead here for Rain or Shine.
Timely basket by Gabe Norwood. And another thing that I'm certain Coach Yeng Yao is unhappy about is, you know, this team is averaging over 110 points per ball game. but now they've only manufactured 75 points. Not because Terrafirma is playing defense, but they're just missing, yes, probably, but not good enough to limit them to just 75. They're just missing a lot of point-blank shots.
Stanley Pringle now with 14 points, and Adrian Nocum answering back with 2 of his own. So it was a great run, 12-0 for Terrafirma Dyip to get themselves back in this ball game. Now everything's to play for, with Rain or Shine now scoring as well, Coach.
Let's see Terrafirma if they still have enough gas in their tank to launch a huge uprising.
Stanley Pringle. Oh, going to work here in the 4th. Back-to-back baskets for Stan the Man.
He's still a professional scorer. Whenever he has that rock, you have to make sure that you respect whatever shot that he takes.
And that time, Stanley Pringle with the tap. Ren Paraiso has it. They go to Mark Nonoy. To slow things down here, Stanley Pringle dictating traffic on the other side. Nonoy against Gabe Norwood. Nonoy feels like he has a speed advantage that time. Aldrich Ramos getting the feed. They go back to Nonoy in the corner. Short shot clock. Stanley Pringle has got to go one-on-one. Here he is. A little bump. The attack. Oh, Stanley Pringle! You bad man!
Only down by 4 points. Awesome fight back by Terrafirma with 6:30 remaining here in the 4th.
Tonasiscio slowing things down here. It has been a Stanley Pringle show in the past few possessions. And Tonasiscio, stop, pop, jumper, good.
Coach Cheng will not burn another timeout. He wants situations like this to see if his players can self-correct. Timely basket by Tonasiscio to increase their lead to 6.
Paraiso, now to Ramos. Sanggalang wants it. He feels like he can take on Jonner Clarito here. Face-to-face, one-on-one, and there, the tap, Adrian Nocum finding Kailan Chongson for the flush.
From Kailan Chongson.
There it is, the turnover, and they go the other way. Adrian Nocum going strong and finding Kailan Chongson for the finish. Able to, I guess, call that a dunk. There's Aldrich Ramos working against Kailan Chongson. Paraiso steps into 3 and he gets it.
Good timeout. Productive play for Terrafirma. Just down by 5 points.
And we were curious to see where the scoring would come from, and apparently that's where it was going to come from. Here's Gabe Norwood swing that around. And Tonasiscio. Terrafirma sat in the zone now, by the way. Gabe Norwood offering a pick here. Gabe taking strong and Sanggalang. That's another block from Luis Sanggalang. So they've been playing well on both ends of the floor here. Terrafirma Dyip, they're in rhythm, in the groove. Paraiso working against Gabe Norwood. One-on-one here all the way almost. Now trying to find anyone. Katapusan gets it. 5-0 run after that timeout.
Such an unreal quarter for Terrafirma, outscoring the Elasto Painters 23-8.
You know, Coach Yang has a reputation that after losses, he normally keeps rain or shine. Oh, what another great block for Luis Sanggalang.
Turn the ball over once again, and they will not be able to inch it closer.
Let's take a look at that last stop there. So there was a horror second quarter for Terrafirma Dyip, but then here they are battling in the 4th. Mamu unable to get it. What a rebound there to save that possession and get the 2.
And that is why you like Jonner Clarito, because he will not demand the ball. He will play off the ball, but he will make things happen. 5-point lead right now for the Elasto Painters.
Paraiso. He can't move, Tomas Sanggalang. They gotta go here to Paraiso. Paraiso in the middle of traffic, trying to foul there was Sanggalang.
7-2, Magnolia 7-2, Road Warriors.
And of course, their newest acquisition, by the way, Asante Caraco drains a 3-pointer.
You cannot really choose which team that you want to go up against, but the more important aspect, of course, is get to that top 4 for you to have a twice-a-beat advantage. Because against TNT and Barangay, against Rain or Shine and Barangay Ginebra versus TNT.
Let's take a look at this. Jonner Clarito, the turnaround desperation heave is good. So an N1 opportunity here.
But it's just going to get better after that Miracle shot by Jonard Clarito.
Unable to get the free throw to go, though. But then let's take a look at the distribution here for the Rain Shine Elasto Painters. There are 5 players.
Very first game in this conference against the Fuel Masters, but after that, 8 straight losses for Terrafirma. Count another one for 9 straight losses for Terra.
94-85 is going to be our final score here at the Phil Sports Arena.